Hello, Joy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you, Sandy.
I'm doing super fantastic. Okay, so the voice that you're hearing is the voice of an ambassador. Okay, for those of you that are not seeing the face, you're hearing the voice of an ambassador. So today, I thought to come up with this impromptu conversation with Joy. Joy, are you excited about this impromptu conversation? Are you looking forward to it?
Yes, yes, I am.
Are you excited? Okay, I remember when you made a promise in your introductory video that your channel is going to be coming up with some thought-provoking conversations. You made such promise, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't know it was something that can come impromptu?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so today we are going to have a conversation, okay?
Okay.
And let's see how well we will do in our conversation. Let's see how thought provoking it can be. Um, I wrote down questions I'm going to ask you. I'm pretty sure you don't know anything about these questions.
No, I don't.
You don't even need to open your book because I'm pretty sure that none of the questions here are going to come from what you may have jotted thus far. Okay, beautiful. So let's get right into it. Um, Miss Eleonore Joy. Let's liken this conversation, like I said earlier, as one that is thought provoking. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um, what exactly to you is the sequence or the patterns of getting wisdom?
Um, Talking about the sequence to getting wisdom. First of all, for you to get wisdom, um you have to be able to understand that you're ignorant of a particular thing, and that's the reason why you're seeking answers. So first you have to be ignorant of this so that you can be able to bring yourself low and get knowledge, which is the next step. And when I mean knowledge, I mean the you have to accumulate certain things for you to know something. That means you've accumulated certain principles um, through reading. You've gathered a lot of information. Then after being knowledgeable, then you move to understanding, which is the assimilation. Here you understand, you try to assimilate, you try to process everything you've gotten, and the ones that aren't needed, you discard them, and the ones that are needed, you keep them. Then after understanding, you move into discretion, and here you're able to discretion here is just the process of being able to fully understand what you've learned. This is where meditation and cogitation comes into play. Then after discretion, you move into discernment, which is now you're looking for ways to apply what you've learned. You have not found ways yet, but you're seeking ways because you want to apply whatever you've learned, whatever you've had knowledge of. Then after discretion, you move into wisdom, which is the application of these truthful principles or these materials you have garnered through reading.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think if I understood you correctly, you gave this illustration in the form of the first stage being ignorant. Secondly, knowledge, which is accumulation of truthful principles.
Yes.
Thirdly, understanding, that is assimilation of the accumulated principles.
Yes.
After understanding, what else did you talk about?
Discretion.
Discretion. And in this discretion, was it in discretion that you made mention of meditation?
Yes.
In discretion, you made mention of meditation. So, what exactly do you understand to be the concept of meditation? Because why I ask this question is because It's as if the concept of meditation is a concept that is often misconstrued in our religious settings so far. So, like, can you, in a little um detailed explanation, tell us what you think meditation means?
Okay. Meditation is simply, to my understanding, is simply the process of getting answers or finding ways to get answers to a particular problem, which this include you first have to gather information because you can't just be meditating on nothing, which we take as sit down in a quiet place, relax, and just think about something. What exactly do you want to think about if you have not gathered certain information? So first you have to have different they have to be different perspective of this problem, different concept, different ideology, theology, and everything. Then you sit down and try to find meaningful answers to this problem. Try to find another ways or another way or another perspective through which you can deal with this problem. And by getting answers, that means you have to stand on a particular structure, which involves you have to be knowledgeable and you have to be understandable. You have to have a solid ground on a particular structure. And there, when you get answers, you then feel it comes with filtering, where after meditation you find ways to maybe create a dialogue with someone else, try to talk with another person of another of another mind to see whether your answer is the right answer to that particular problem.
Oh my goodness, that came off quite coherent. Thank you for that illustration,
You're
Miss Joy.
welcome, sir.
Okay, so moving forward, I let me throw in this question. Do you agree that wisdom is synonymous to mastery and wealth, and how?
um, yes, wisdom is actually synonymous to mastery and because for you to say you have wisdom, you have gone through such processes of getting wisdom. You have been ignorant. You accepted it that you were actually ignorant. Here, you were not proud. You accepted the fact that you were ignorant. You got information, which is knowledge. You understood what you got, which is understanding, and you followed the process of discretion and discernment, moving on to wisdom. So, right here, whatever you're wise about, whatever you've gained full ground on, you've actually mastered that particular concept or that particular um, thing, that particular idea. If you're ignorant of what it means to be a fashion designer, you admit to it that you don't know anything about that concept, you don't know anything about that idea. So you go through the processes of getting that you go through the process of being wise on that particular concept. And
Like
when
being an apprentice.
yes, by going through the lanes of apprenticeship, submitting yourself that you don't know this thing, so you're going to meet someone that is quite higher than you, that has quite a lot of ground on that
And
particular,
evidence.
yes, and evidence on that particular field. Then after that, you've become wise on that particular field, you've gained mastery, and that your wisdom is bearing fruit, because you cannot claim to be wise on something and then it's not showing. For other
Hmm.
people to see that it's showing, and for other people to come to you to actually learn, they've seen evidence, they've seen fruit. So going through the process of ignorance, knowledge, understanding, discernment, discretion, and everything, it means that you've planted, because starting from the part of knowledge, you're trying to plant in a seed, and then wisdom, which is you're now applying what you've learned, is now the fruits that everybody is seeing.
Hmm. Hmm. That's powerful. That's powerful. Okay. So you do not, or rather, let me put it this way. Do you agree or disagree with the concept of people trying to lay their hands on their head to receive knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. What is your take on that concept that we see very often in Africa and most especially teenagers?
First of all, there's no such thing as put your hand on your head, receive wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because no matter what, placing your hands on your head will not um your head won't, let me use that word, your head won't be opened and then they'll put the knowledge inside, because you have to admit that you are ignorant of this particular thing, and being knowledgeable means you're seeking answers. This is a deliberate action, this is a deliberate move. This is not something that you go to church or you go to a particular place and then you beg. No, you have to have that, yes, you've accepted it, that you're actually ignorant of this
And you have to
particular
put in the work.
field, and you have to put in the work,
Hmm.
because you're not working hard right now. Even though you are working hard, you are not working hard, you are working smart to produce answers, to produce evidence of what you're going into. So there's no such thing as put your hands on your head, receive wisdom, knowledge, understanding, because no matter what, you won't receive it. Even the injunction tells us that whatever, wherever the sole of our feet touches, which means whatever we have knowledge and understanding of will be ours. Doesn't mean that, like, you can't go into um a particular place, you can't walk into a restaurant and say, fine, since my sole of my feet just touched this place, this restaurant is mine. You have to have certain ideas, you have to be knowledgeable, and you have to understand what it means to open a restaurant. And then when you have all this, you now apply it by opening your own, and then you are betting results.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick digression to the book you are reading, but we are not going right into it completely. So I'm going to ask you some questions that might sound a little cliche. To chase money or to attract money?
um you have to attract money.
How?
Okay. For you to attract money, first of all, you have to there are certain things you need to do, because you cannot pursue money. Money is a spirit, and at the same time, money is a currency, and that currency is an energy. So you have to be able to have different skills. You have to work on a particular skill that you have actually known that this is what you're good at, which requires taking certain risk, setting up boundaries, disengaging from different people that are trying to pull you down, and not listening to, because this is what mostly pulls us back, that fear of, if I do this now, I might lose certain people, nobody will talk to me, I'll be the only one. Something I learned from Chimamanda, she said in, I think, the seventh suggestion in Dear Oily, she said we should not teach ourselves to be likable. Like, people who are going to like you are going to like you, people who are not going to like you won't like you. So if you want to attract money, you have to have a certain skill, and then which involves taking risks, setting boundaries, and you still have to go to the spiritual gym. And going to the spiritual gym involves reading different motivational books, seeking answers, going to classes, and because you're trying to get certain ground, and you're trying to attract wealth to you. So still, you still have to pass through all those stages of getting to wisdom for you to attract money, because money is a currency, and money is created by God, which is the universal intelligence. So you have to show that whatever you're doing, because you cannot pursue money. No matter what, money is a spirit, and you can't pursue a spirit. So whatever you're doing, you have to show it, because when we read books about money, we think that um which the only way for us to attract money is just by changing our subconscious mind. We have, because we've heard different ideology of money. Money is the root of all evil. Money is bad. Money is evil. Without money you can live a happy life. Money doesn't mean that you're good. Without money it doesn't mean that you're actually poor, and all sorts. If we actually want to live a fulfilled and happy life, we need to have money. And having money means working on your particular skill, working on a particular gift set that God has given us, that the universal intelligence has given us. Because our skill and our talent is the raw form of that money. Money is just a currency is a currency here on earth. But the money over there in the spiritual realm is that talent, is that raw form. So God won't give you um
The
gold
physical
bar
money, the
or yeah physical money. God will give you something that will produce that money. If God is giving you gold bars, that means he's telling you to pursue it. No, God will give you talents, God will give you gifts that will make people of the same like mind come to you, and when they are coming to you, you're indirectly attracting money to yourself.
beautiful. They sound so cool. They sound so cool. So, without going deep into that book that is standing beside you, which I pretty know that you have done justice to, I will just go in this line one more time. What is your advice or counsel to every teenager out there about your current read by Jen Sincero?
Okay, first of all, this is a book that we should all have. This is a book we should all get into, no matter the age, no matter the age, no matter the class, no matter wherever you are. You have to have this book, because this book clearly tells us that at you can start making money at any age. It doesn't give us an age bracket that okay, from 40 to 75, that is when you have to start making money. Because we see other people out there making money at a very little age, and they have, if they have they have practical results of how they are getting this money. So this is something that we should read, and it's something that we should practice. It doesn't mean that okay, we might say we don't have this particular things, we don't have these tools yet, we don't have these things yet to start producing this money we want. But there's something called starting from somewhere. There's something called having the no nonsense determination in whatever circumstances you find yourself. You have that no nonsense determination to continue, even when people are telling you to quit, that this thing doesn't matter at all. This is something that you've seen, something that you've been able to identify that with this, I can actually get money. You are not pursuing money. You should not pursue money. There's no, you can't even pursue money. Instead, you have to attract wealth. And by attracting wealth, this is what we call, you have to first recalibrate your psyche, which involves reading, because you have to get into different minds, present, past minds that can also help you attract this wealth. So whatever you're doing, first of all, you have to be knowledgeable, which involves reading.
So you're saying they should read this book.
Yes.
Okay, so finally, would you love to do a kind of synopsis after reading this material?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
I do.
you are done already?
I'm done already.
Okay, so you can't wait to talk about it?
Can't wait.
Beautiful. So what do you say to um your listeners, your audience, your fans out there who are going to come in contact with this video? What do you say to them?
I want to tell them a big thank you, and thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and whatever you've learned here, let me know in the comment section. And please put in whatever you learned. It is not it is part of the path that after having understanding, you should apply, which is called wisdom. So please apply whatever you've learned, and I can't wait to see the better version of yourself. Bye, guys. I love you all.